Downy Dilly and the Monster Trick. An original story based on the Upsy Downsy toys by Mattel. Downy Dilly stretched. She yawned a mighty yawn. She had spent a very busy morning driving all over Downsy Land in her footmobile. And, she told herself happily, everyone knew that she had been busy. Misinformation knew because all of her "this way out" signs had been changed to say "this way in." Mother What Now knew because she couldn't find her red pencil anywhere, and that meant she couldn't make out her list of very important jobs for everyone else to do. Pocus Hocus knew because the white rabbit he usually pulled out of his hat had suddenly turned purple. Someone is playing tricks, the Downsies said to each other. And they knew that the someone was Downy Dilly. But now Downy Dilly was ready for a change. "I'd like to go to the beach for a nice quiet sun bath," she decided, and at once the footmobile went pad-padding down the road to the sea. When they reached the beach, however, Downy Dilly saw that it was going to be hard to have a quiet sun bath. All of the Downsy Land people were there, enjoying the bright green sand and the wonderful rollaway waves. "Hello," she called to Mother What Now and Misinformation, who were sitting under a big umbrella eating beach burgers and sandwiches. But they were so busy talking that they didn't hear her. "Sea monsters are very fierce," Misinformation was saying importantly. "They are big and ugly, and they can swallow a Downsy in just one gulp." Mother What Now turned upside down in fright. "Oh, my stars and bumpkins," she exclaimed. "If I saw one, I would run home and never come back." "Humph." Downy Dilly peeked around the umbrella in time to see Woolly Bully join her friends. As usual he was bragging. "I'm not afraid of sea monsters," he said. "If I saw a sea monster, I would just tie it in knots and throw it back into the sea." Downy Dilly listened. Then she giggled to herself. She was getting an idea, and if it worked she would be able to have a nice quiet sun bath and teach Woolly Bully a lesson at the very same time. Quickly, she knelt down and began to dig in the sand. A few minutes later, Mother What Now gave a squeal of excitement.
Ow!
"Look!" She pointed behind the beach umbrella. "What's this?" From all over the beach, the Downsies came running to look. What they saw were two big footprints in the sand, as long as rowboats and as deep as dishpans. Misinformation turned 6 somersaults and landed on her hands. "It's a Maya Sunster, a sea monster," gasped Misinformation. "Hurry, everybody, hide your head in the sand." Mother What Now gathered up her beach burger, her blanket, and her umbrella. "Go home, everybody," she ordered. "Go home as fast as you can, unless you want to be a tasty bite for a sea monster." And she ran across the sand, with all the other Downsy people right behind her. All, that is, except Woolly Bully and Downy Dilly. "I'm not afraid," bragged Woolly Bully. "I think someone is playing a trick. After all, sea monsters don't have feet, so how can they have footprints?" Downy Dilly was disappointed. She had the whole beach for her sun bath now, but she hadn't taught Woolly Bully a lesson. "What do sea monsters look like?" she asked. Woolly Bully strutted up and down. "A sea monster has a head like a dragon and a body like a snake," he said. "It loop-the-loops through the water, and it scares everyone who isn't as brave as I am." Then he ran off to take another swim in the wonderful rollaway waves. A few minutes later, as he floated on his back and thought about how handsome he must look, a dragon's head rose from the water beside him. Loop after loop of snaky body came splashing through the waves. "Help!" Woolly Bully swallowed a huge mouthful of water. "Save me from the sea monster," he shrieked, and he streaked like a rocket to the shore. Across the beach he went and up the road to where the Moo-Choo was waiting. "Help!" he shouted one last time, and away he chugged, never once looking back. If he had looked back, he would have seen Downy Dilly coming out of the water, wearing her scuba diver's mask and dragging a row of tied-together inner tubes behind her. "I did it," she chuckled to herself. "Next time Woolly Bully won't be so quick to brag about how brave he is." And she stretched out on the warm sand for a nap in the sun. The nap didn't last very long. Brr, she shivered, for the sun was no longer shining on her. It seemed that a summer shower must have blown in from the sea, for she was getting wetter by the second. Sleepily she opened her eyes. Oh, she squealed. There, towering above her like a mountain, was a sea monster. A real one. At least, that was what she thought it must be. But who would have expected a sea monster to be pale pink and weeping? Downy Dilly jumped up, and the sea monster saw her for the first time. Ooh, he bellowed in terror. Go away. Downy Dilly forgot to be afraid herself. I won't hurt you, she said. Tell me why you are crying. I'm crying because I'm lost and I can't find my mama, sobbed the monster. Are you sure you won't hurt me? Very sure. Downy Dilly dodged another waterfall of tears. What's your name, sea monster? Splash-a-lotta, stammered the unhappy monster, and he fell in a heap on the sand to cry some more. Downy Dilly tried to decide what to do. She couldn't take Splash-a-lotta home with her because home wouldn't be big enough. Besides, his mother would certainly be worried about him. Maybe, she thought, he should just swim out to sea again and look for his mother. Maybe he should swim towards that big pink island out there. Then she blinked. A pink island. There had never been a pink island off the Downsy Land beach before. She stared, puzzled, and, as she looked, the island grew bigger. A huge pink head rose above it. Look, shouted Downy Dilly. Look out there, Splash-a-lotta. What do you see? Splash-a-lotta raised his pink head. He blinked away his tears. He looked. I see my mama, he roared in delight. He jumped up and lumbered across the sand into the water without even remembering to say goodbye. Downy Dilly grinned as she watched the happy sea monster swim out to sea. Then she heard a noise behind her and turned in time to see all her Downsy friends coming along the road to the beach. Mother What Now led the way. We've decided you played a trick on us, Downy Dilly, she said cheerfully. We know there is no such thing as a sea monster, but there is a little girl around here who likes to play tricks on people. There is a sea monster, too, exclaimed Downy Dilly. There really is. Look. She pointed out to sea. But by then there was nothing in sight but the wonderful rollaway waves. Oh, dear, she thought. No one is ever going to believe in sea monsters again. No one, that is, except Woolly Bully. Downy Dilly chuckled to herself as she heard him telling everyone that he had had enough swimming for one day and was going to sit on the green sand and be a lifeguard instead.